We ignored 230,000 pages that could teach us how leadership is targeted. Instead, we consumed a scandal with a white man that's a freak and freaky elite people. That's what we did in Black History Month. That's not empowerment, that's conditioning.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I'm Damon K. Jones, and this is the Publisher's Desk, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine and powered by blackwestchester.com, where life, culture, community, and faith meets truth, power, and purpose. And I'm going to tell you straight up, this is not an easy episode, but a necessary one. You see, during Black History Month, we failed to have a real conversation. Not our Black leaders, not our Black politicians, not our Black organizations like the NAACP and Urban League. We did not have any think tanks, any forums to discuss the 230,000 pages of government documents related to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They were released the same time as the Epstein files. But all I saw was people talking, Black people talking about the Epstein files. 230,000 pages. And what dominated the conversation? Epstein. Cable news speculation. Rumored who was on the lists and who was on the list and that was on the list and what was in the emails. A whole bunch of political drama and social media outrage and almost no serious discussion. Matter of fact, no serious discussion about what those MLK documents represented to Black people and the civil rights movement and Black struggle since the 60s to the present. That's what I call the Black betrayal. Not betrayal by the government, but betrayal by neglect. See, let's deal with the facts. It's documented, not rumored, that the Federal Bureau of Investigation under J. Edgar Hoover conducted extensive surveillance on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This was exposed in the 70s by the United Senate Church Committee investigation. Through COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, federal agencies target civil rights organizations, Black nationalist groups, and anti-war leaders. Martin Luther King was wiretapped. He was monitored. He was discredited. He was psychologically harassed. That is not conspiracy. That's congressional record. Now pause. If the federal government documented a coordinated effort to undermine one of the most significant Black men in American history, why would we not treat the release of those documents as a major cultural moment? And King wasn't alone. Documented records show surveillance and destruction tactics against Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, the Black Panther Party, Stokely Carmichael, and multiple civil rights and Black liberation organizations. These are historical facts. But we didn't have any conversation on Black History Month. We were talking about a freak, a pedophile. We betrayed our own history in Black History Month. The conversation should not be, is there a secret conspiracy that we don't know about? The conversation should be, what patterns do we already have documented? Because the pattern is clear. When Black leadership shifts from symbolic protests to structural power building, institutional resistance increase from the left and the right. See, King became most threatening when he began to organizing the Poor People's Campaign. Not integration, because they knew integration, they was just going to take your money, which that's what they have. But when he criticized the war in Vietnam, when he began speaking about economic redistribution of wealth with concentration, when he started talking about reparations, that's when the hostility intensified. Now here's where this connects to the betrayal. Instead of examining 230,000 pages of historical documentation about how institutions respond when challenging, Negroes was talking about Epstein. Negroes was talking about who was on the Epstein list. Let me be clear for a second. Sex trafficking is evil. Accountability matters. Justice matters in dealing with pedophilia. But let's not get it twisted. Black America's priorities matter too. See, why did Black History Month become another cable news political cycle instead of serious examination of how federal power historically targets Black leadership? We didn't have that conversation. We didn't have that conversation by the NAACP or the Urban League. We didn't have that conversation when I went to Albany to the Black Caucus. It wasn't having that conversation because scandal is emotional. But when we get down to the nitty-gritty and actual federal documents, that requires discipline. Scandal trends. History requires study. And we choose trending over studying. Now that is the Black betrayal, brothers and sisters. And here's the deeper issue. When we ignore documented historical operations like COINTELPRO, we really weaken ourselves. Not emotionally, strategically. If infiltration, disinformation, character attacks, and surveillance was used against Black leaders in the past, then we should ask today, how do we build institutions resilient to the infiltration? How do we maintain unity under pressure? How do we protect leadership structures? How do we prevent internal fracture? That is mature conversation for nation building. Not just the government kills every leader, but how does power protect itself when challenged? That's the question history already answers. And here's something else, brothers and sisters. The sealed assassination materials are still under court order until 2027. The 230,000 pages released do not contain signed documents ordering King's assassination. They reinforce document surveillance and hostility, so we don't need to invent drama. The documented hostility is serious enough. The confirmed targeting of Martin Luther King Jr. is serious enough to talk about. The institutional abuse is serious enough to have a conversation. But we didn't even discuss that because the same games they played on Martin Luther King Jr., they're playing on our little Black leaders, our Black leaders trying to come up today. The left and the right. Instead, what we did, brothers and sisters, we gave our attention to a headline loop. And attention is currency in 2026. If we cannot focus on document history during Black History Month, how will we focus on building power in real time? If we cannot analyze how institutions historically disturb Black leadership, how will we design institutions that can survive disruption? This is not about left or right. It's about memory, because historical amnesia makes movement weak and disciplined memory makes movement strong. And this is why our young children today don't understand the struggle. This is why they talk the foolishness, they talk about history, because we as adults don't reinforce it. We can't sit and say, well, they don't listen. No, we're not giving them anything to listen to. The Black betrayal is not that the government killed Martin Luther King Jr. or that the government surveilled Martin Luther King Jr. That's already known. We know they had a hand in it. The Black betrayal is that we have not seized the opportunity to study how power operates. We ignored 230,000 pages that could teach us how leadership is targeted. Instead, we consumed a scandal with a white man that's a freak and freaky elite people. That's what we did in Black History Month. That's not empowerment, that's conditioning. So here's the pivot, Black folks. If we really want freedom, if we're talking about it, if we really want to be empowered, we must study structure. If we want power, we must study how structure responds. If we want strong leadership, we must understand how leadership is attacked. That conversation is far more important than a freaky white man and his elite friends. Because King wasn't destroyed by gossip. He was targeted by an institution. And that institution, brothers and sisters, it still exists. And this is not paranoia. This is historical literacy. And if we really want to honor, and this is for all the pastors and the leaders that love to quote Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If we want to honor Dr. King properly, we got to do much more than quote him. We have to really study what happened to him. This is how you build resilient movements. This is how you avoid betrayal. We have to stop quoting the man and start acting like the man. But more important, we must understand what happened to him so we won't repeat it again. Because it seems like when a Black man stands up, they know how to take him down. I'm Damon K. Jones, and this is the Publisher's Desk. Please go to Black Westchester Magazine, blackwestchester.com, and let's stop choosing scandal over structure. Let's stop trending and start studying. And most of all, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay Blacktastic. Peace.
If you're serious about political clarity and independent thinking, this is for you. The Political Thought Bundle includes 3 full books, all personally singling. Democrats and Republicans, the ultimate gangbangers, breaks down how the two-party system operates like a legalized street war for power. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure exposes how emotion has replaced strategy in Black political engagement. Tolerance is for Cowards lays out a blueprint for extended policing and community-led public safety rooted in outcomes rather than slogans. 3 signed books. One bundle, $60. That's a $75 value. And you're getting signed copies included. This isn't left versus right. It's results versus rhetoric. Go to twosteppublishing.com and secure your signed Political Thought Bundle today. It's going to be Blacktastic. For more than a century, Black America built its own economy under segregation, under discrimination, and under conditions most people today cannot imagine. We built businesses, we built banks, we bought land and property. In The Forgotten Blueprint, Damon K. Jones reveals how Black communities created thriving economic systems from 1800 to 1965 and why that blueprint still matters today. This book challenges the idea that our future depends on politics alone and shows how ownership, family, and enterprise once powered Black prosperity. The blueprint is not lost. We just stopped using it. The Forgotten Blueprint, how Black America built its own economy from 1800 to 1965. On sale now at Two Step Publishing and Amazon. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and share it with others who need to hear the truth. And for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, join the Black Westchester Magazine YouTube membership club today. Your support helps us keep independent Black media strong. Support independent Black media with style. Rock Black Westchester merch and represent the news with the Black point of view. Every purchase helps us speak truth to power. Thank you to everyone who supported us through Super Chat. Your contributions keep independent media alive and thriving. We couldn't do it without you. For over a decade, Black Westchester Magazine has been giving our community a voice, reporting the stories others ignore, holding power accountable, and making sure the truth about our communities is told by us. But independent Black media only survives when the community supports it. If you believe in real journalism, community accountability, and keeping Black voices strong in local news, we need your help. Your donation helps us continue covering the stories that matter: politics, education, justice, and economic empowerment right here in Westchester. Support Black media, support Black truth, support Black Westchester Magazine. Donate today and help keep Black media alive. Because Black-owned independent media is Blacktastic. Black Westchester Magazine presents People Before Politics, the Sunday Rundown, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Join Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as they break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and community from a Black point of view. No spin, no party loyalty, just logic, accountability, and outcomes. If it impacts Black America, we're talking about it. Tap in, subscribe, set your reminder. This Sunday at 6 p.m. is going to be Blacktastic.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.